You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
When you're big shot soap magnate, you can say stuff.
Just do this to me.
I just sit there and check the app.
Oh, the coffee
Oh,
looks
good.
good.
Our audience dwindled.
Okay, everybody, we appreciate it. Now we're going to get back into it. We'll move through these pretty quick. We are going to go to the strategic plan. Ron, go ahead.
Mayor and council, this is the final document. This was there was changes made, any edits, and big thanks to staff, Jenny and Yvonne and Gina, and all the directors and managers for helping put this together. And these projects were ready, these items here on their tactical plans, these will be used for the next coming budget cycle and also for their goals. And I'll stand for any questions on this, Mayor.
Okay.
Council.
I think it's a well put together plan, and again, great everybody
Yeah.
presenting and all that, but I'll make a motion to approve the 2025 Village of Ruidoso strategic plan.
Okay. Any discussion? Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Hooker,
Aye.
Counselor Jackson, Counselor Corey,
Aye.
Counselor Salas,
Aye.
Counselor Letterman,
Aye.
Counselor Eby.
All right.
Okay, next I want to go to, which one's Jerry in here on? The hot plant? No?
He was down number 8.
Hey, let's do number 8. Get in. Jerry, get in here, buddy. All right, man.
Still here. We can-
Right here up front, we're going to have number 8, discussion and possible action on purchase of 5 Peterbilt grapple trucks from Peterson Industries for the Solid Waste Department utilizing contract number 0621-P11 or II, I'm not sure, in the amount of $1,248,949.63.
Yay.
Push his microphone over there. Attaboy.
A grant had got us 4 of these that Dave had, Dick had.
Dick had done.
Done.
Yeah, that's great.
And then when we got to looking at it, and we got a pretty good deal, because they had 2 of them on the floor, on the ground. We had some left over out of the grant. So Miss Judy said, let's try to get 5, so.
Now we just need to find employees to run them.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's great using the grant. Dick always does a great job with that, but I think that's awesome.
In Mayor and Council, the grant was for $1.2 million, and then we were able to find the $48,000 there and be able to purchase the additional vehicles, so it's going to be great for the fleet.
Okay.
I
Anybody
move-
else have any questions?
I was going to make a
Go.
motion. I move that we accept the purchase of 5 Peterbilt grapple trucks from Peterson Industries for the Solid Waste Department utilizing Sourcewell contract number 40621-P11 in the amount of $1,248,949.63.
Second.
Okay, discussion. Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Letterman.
Aye.
Counselor Jackson.
Aye.
Counselor Eby.
Aye.
Counselor Salas.
Aye.
Counselor Hooker.
Aye.
Counselor Corey.
Aye.
All right, number 7, you're up.
I appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jerry.
He's got things to do. Discussion and possible
Blake.
action on the purchase of a 2024 Chevrolet Silverado MD 5500 landscaping truck with dump bed and from Malloy Auto Group utilizing CES contract number 2024-24-C120, all in the amount of $96,127. So that doesn't have GRT. That's just, usually it says including or not, but that, the last one did.
That's a good, so, yeah, so we don't pay taxes on it.
It's not taxable. Got it. Thank you. Yes, sir, Matthew.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor and Council, this is our landscape truck that we had budgeted this year. We tried previously, right after the fires, we were uncertain about some of the financials. And
He's
so-
looking at you, Corey.
I was not funny. I always look at all the council members. We were concerned about some of the financials, and I feel that I wanted to bring it back to y'all for reconsideration and purchase of this. Malloy actually does already have the truck and chassis on the ground in their yard. They will be shipping it out to California to put the bed on it and then shipping it back. But all that cost is included, and then the bed manufacturer has the bed already on the ground, ready to be installed. So we'll be able to have this truck within 6 to 7 weeks.
Mayor, two questions. One, we always buy Chevrolets. Is there a reason for that?
They're good.
Well, besides, I think personally, they're the better
I do
ones.
too.
I'll tell you I was going to say, Mayor and Councilman, on this. So what's really cool with Malloy Fleet, I called them and said, I want a 5500, what brand do you have? Because they were able to actually service all of them. They had a Chevy on the ground. I'm more, a lot of mine buy of what I can get now versus, instead of waiting a year for an order. And also with the Chevrolets for this particular truck, these Chevy 5500s are actually made by International. And so it's actually an International truck and chassis, badged as a Chevy. And so it does have the larger International disc brakes, the larger engine, all those things. Transmission made to haul the bigger loads, and so pulling our like dump trailer, things like that, it's actually much better and more control for those kind of things.
Second question, Judy, how's GRT looking?
Councilor Corey and Mayor, so when we look at GRT, even though we're down, and I think we're down either 4 or 5% from last year, however, we're on target to meet budget, and we've always been on target to meet budget since like September.
Right.
So this purchase was already included in the budget
Yeah.
originally, so I'm comfortable.
I would like to make a motion.
Go for it.
I move that we purchase 2024 Chevrolet Silverado MD 5500 landscaping truck with dump bed from Malloy Auto Group utilizing CES contract 2024-C120-ALL in the amount of $96,127.
Second.
Okay, discussion?
No,
No?
despite the fact that it's not a Ford, I'm all in.
There you
I
go.
drive a Ford personally.
They don't make, Audi doesn't make a truck. Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Letterman?
Aye.
Counselor Eby?
Aye.
Counselor Salas?
Aye.
Counselor Hooker?
Aye.
Counselor Jackson?
Aye.
Counselor Corey?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, and here, this thing when it comes in is going to have the Sasquatch riding a unicorn. Item number 6, discussion and possible action on the purchase of a modified cube container for the hot plant control room, which is on its way for Malloy Mobile Storage through CES Contract 17-026B-C101-all in the amount of $51,551.34, including New Mexico GRT. This is where I get confused. But this is just the container to put in the control room.
Yes, sir, Mayor, Council. What this is it's actually a shipping container that's been converted, so it's a solid steel shipping container that's being converted into a control room. It'll come in with everything, the windows, everything. We're still waiting on the actual MCC control panel. Bigsby did get back with me after the person that they had sent up here for that. They're sending an engineer to come in and look at that and get pictures of all the MCC panel. What this is the control room. It's an older control room. It'd be everything in there. If we get this done, it'll be there for the next 60, 80 years. I mean, as long as we can keep that plant running.
Josh, how quickly will you get this?
I'm talking with them. They are saying it'd be 6 to 9 weeks.
So where are you putting it at?
What we'll do is we'll take it's pretty much an old shed out there that
Tear it down and slide that in?
tear it down and slide it in that position. Put the new MCC panel in, and we'll get the front motherboard for it from the existing plant and take it out and slide it right into the front of that.
So we already contracted with Bixby to do all of that?
No, sir, I'm still waiting for them. They're gonna come up and look. They came up, they sent me a quote. I got back in touch with them. I was like, look, or they didn't send me a quote. They came up and looked at it and went back and said, oh, no, we have to have a
Engineer drawing.
engineer
So
come
the
up
point
and
I'm
look
making
at
is,
that.
this is just the box, and then we've got the stuff coming, the guts and everything else, and then we have to pay to have it put together.
Yeah, Mayor, Council, so this box is, like Josh said, it has the windows, but it's got the actual electrical to it. So the MCC panel is what would actually controls the hot plant, and that'll be put inside this room.
We already bought that.
Right.
So we're waiting on that to come in.
Yep.
Okay.
The MCC panel?
No,
No, the hot plant.
the barrel, the
Yeah.
hot oil tank.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
That's the one we couldn't find. It's on its way.
So this is gonna be like the bionic man.
Hopefully, you know, it's,
It'll be like T-Bone with a new hip, and
right?
which is doing very well, but just everybody knows.
Like I said, the plant itself is, I mean, as long as you keep general maintenance on it, replace the bearings and everything, it's gonna be just keeping up with the main thing now is the electrical, which most of all of the electrical is still the original electrical that came with the plant.
Okay.
Mayor, I move approval of the purchase of a modified cube container for hot plant control room from Malloy Mobile Storage through CES contract 17-026B-C101-ALL in the amount of $51,551.34, including New Mexico gross receipt tax.
Second.
Okay, discussion? Roll call, please, ma'am.
Counselor Corey?
Aye.
Counselor Jackson?
Aye.
Counselor Hooker?
Aye.
Counselor Salas?
Aye.
Counselor Letterman?
Aye.
Counselor Eby?
Okay, great. Now I'm going to bump back up to number 3. Good job, guys. Thank you.
Thank you,
Because I think
Josh.
number 5 might take a little bit. But item number 3, discussion and possible action on agreement with Jennifer Vra for FM translator rebroadcast programming in the amount of $24,000. This is for 99.1. Anything we need else cover?
Mayor and council, we feel this is going to be a great investment. It's going to just add our coverage for all our shows across. I think the mayor said you heard it up by Capitan and some of those areas up there, so.
99.1 has a much bigger reach.
And we feel that just local businesses or whatnot, if they have a radio inside, usually it's on FM anyway, so we'll be able to move forward with that.
And we've reached out to a sales rep that does this all over to do it on a commission basis. So I'm going to get those costs covered and others, so.
How quickly will this come online?
It sounded like Greg, when, in speaking with Greg at the Mayor Crawford, Councilor Corey, he thought we could get this done within a week or two.
Oh, my gosh.
So it's pretty quick.
And then we just have the same programming
Simultaneous.
simultaneously, so it's not really anything extra.
If you go to FM, I may listen to you.
Well, you might.
I'll hear every
God
word.
forbid, yeah. Then that's when I'll get reprimanded. You just wait. They'll have a gag in my mouth before it's over with.
They
we
always
will-
have a 5-second delay, but it
Yeah.
never matters with you.
We'll update the council once it's good to go. Well, before we even switch and have that, so like Mayor said, it'll be the AM and FM broadcasting at the same time.
And this will get some of the folks in on the other shows.
Yeah.
So we're excited about that. So entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, move to approve agreement with Jennifer Vray for FM translator rebroadcast programming in the amount of $24,000.
Second.
Okay, discussion? Roll call, please, Jenny.
Counselor Jackson?
Aye.
Counselor Letterman?
Aye.
Counselor Eby?
Aye.
Counselor Salas?
Aye.
Counselor Hooker?
Aye.
Counselor Corey?
All right, thank you very much. Okay, Chief, we got discussion, possible action on approval of Ruidoso Police Department policy increasing the radius of take-home vehicle to 85 miles per. Counselor Corey. Well, thank you. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. So thank you with that. And I know after our last discussion last week, I said I would look into it about the mileage to make sure that that was going to cover and do it exactly what we needed to do. So in full disclosure, 85 is actually a little bit much. So when I looked at it, probably a minimum of 70 up to 75 actually covers all of Roswell. If we go to 85, it doesn't really gain us a whole lot. And I think it actually puts us in a position where 85, funny enough, reaches all the way to Artesia, and I certainly don't want anybody driving 2 hours to get to work and back. So going beyond Roswell, I think, is kind of a little excessive, but I think the 75-mile mark actually covers all of Roswell to the extent that we would need to.
So Chief, you're recommending we go 75 instead of 85?
Yes, sir.
Any other discussion?
I move that we accept the Reynosa Police Department policy increasing the radius of take-home vehicles to 75 miles.
Second.
Okay, discussion? Roll call, please, Jenny.
Counselor Letterman.
Aye.
Counselor Hooker.
Aye.
Counselor Eby. Eby.
Aye.
Counselor Salas.
Aye.
Counselor Jackson.
Aye.
Counselor Corey.
All right.
Good job, Chief. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And I hope you, what was the dingbat that just had a little fire in the backyard?
Yeah, no, I sent them over there to deal with them, so.
Did they find him?
I haven't heard the outcome on that, but I know they were going up there to deal with him, so. I don't know.
The chief was telling me that, both chiefs, were that we had a guy that set a fire pit in the backyard and then set it and left. And so fire department went over and then we're sending up the police.
So we're looking to see, I think they're looking to see if it was a full-time resident, if it was STR, whatever it was, if we can track.
I think we make a full-time example of him.
Exactly. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, the wind's blowing too dang hard and we've been through too much. So thank you. Item number 5, discussion and possible action on approval or denial of request to schedule a public hearing on April the 8th, 2025 to hear and appeal denial of Planning Commission case PV 2025-3. So what we're looking at here with Stephanie and Alex is, does it meet the requirements? You know,
Right, to appeal.
to even,
appeal?
to have a public hearing.
Okay.
I mean, what you're doing is deciding, does it meet the criteria to go for a public hearing?
Right.
Correct.
Okay, yes, going first.
This afternoon, we're coming forward with a request from the property owner to appeal the denial of the variance by the Planning Commission. We did hold a quasi-judicial public hearing on February 4th where a variance to encroach 19.4 feet into the 20-foot west front setback and 6.7 feet into the 20-foot north side setback to construct a 20-foot by 22-foot carport, where it was unanimously denied. Today supplied, we did the application for appeal and the justification letter by the homeowner, the denial letter by the Planning Commission, and also a copy of the appeals process for you guys to evaluate and either approve or deny the request for the public hearing.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. It's mostly for Zach there, since this is generally all other appeals before they came out of the Planning Commission, whether they were denied and requesting to come to council, were always put on the agenda of the appeal was, so, for the public hearing. This is the first time, at least in my tenure.
Because we've allowed things
Yeah. Well,
that we've appealed that shouldn't have.
That's getting to my question.
Mm-hmm.
Is that since the agenda item is to approve or not approve to put them on the agenda for a public hearing. So generally during the public hearing, we hear the evidence as presented at that. That's the only evidence we're supposed to consider. So during this particular time, Zach, my question is, do we only hear whether this justifies being put on the agenda or not? But
Are they
nothing,
meeting the
no specifics.
criteria to
Yeah,
Ask
get
for
an
an appeal.
appeal?
no specifics about the
Correct.
case.
No,
So-
no, nothing else, just about, do they meet the criteria?
That-
You're right, exactly. So that's all that this is about. And
And-
so, go ahead.
The reason why we supplied the denial letter is because in the ordinance, it says the notice shall specify the error in which the decision made by the Planning Commission in the enforcement of the article or any its adoption, ordinance adopted pursuant thereto. So that gives you the, amount of background that you would need to, place against the application for the hearing. If approved, then you'll get a case study and the minutes.
So does this rise to the level of scheduling a public hearing?
That's what we're asking for you guys.
Well, I know, but the deal is, you're up here supporting the denial, and we're asking on what grounds. What did they miss in the appeal process?
So
I mean, I've read through it.
in the denial, the Planning Commission did not feel that the applicant displayed an evidence of physical hardship on the property. The applicant also has alternative locations for development, and the request for the encroachment is potentially adverse in health, safety, and welfare for the community and pedestrian and vehicle traffic. So it is a corner lot, and they're wanting to come all the way up. Where the justification for the appeal from the homeowner, as staff's review, I feel it doesn't address any of the concerns rather than just how they personally want to move forward
Right.
with the development.
Did you get a copy of what was emailed to us yesterday?
That came from her, the stuff that
Yes.
she supplied.
No, I got an email from the property owner.
I didn't either.
I did not.
I don't know if I did or not. It came what time yesterday?
I got it.
It was in
It
the
basically asked us to
I don't think
consider.
I got it.
Oh, maybe,
I was just wondering if that was something different than what you and the commission had heard.
oh, I did get one.
I'm unaware of
Okay.
anything. It was not sent to us.
Okay.
Mayor
Yes, sir.
and councilors, what we're dealing with falls under the umbrella of administrative law, where an administrative agency makes a decision about a certain thing, in this case, a zoning or planning deal, and then it's built in that they get an appeal to a higher authority, which in this case would be you guys, under certain circumstances. And then they can even take that decision a step further to the district court. I think you guys should take into consideration that if this were to go to the district court. So if you said no today, we're not gonna hear your case, then that stops their, what do you call it? Administrative remedies. And you have to extinguish all your remedies before you can get into a court. So if you guys say no, then they've exhausted their administrative remedies, and that's ripe to go to district court if they choose to do that. If this landed in a district court's case or in a district court, and the judge saw that you guys, based on some technicalities in our ordinance or the way our ordinance is written, you just said, nah, we're not gonna hear it. That's not gonna look good. That doesn't mean that we're gonna lose the appeal at the district court, but you need to consider the visuals of.
Then, to that end, I agree with you to a point, but then that means every single
does.
person that ever gets denied at a level lower than us gets to go, nope, I'm just gonna go to the council.
And that's what we've
I'm gonna
been
go to
doing.
council. It's like saying, well, I'm gonna go talk to mom because dad said no, or vice versa. Where do we not stop then and say, we made this commission, this board of
And they
planning
get to
zoning.
hear everything. They get to see everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, I move to deny the request to schedule a public hearing on April 8th, 2025 to hear an appeal denial of Planning Commission case PV 2025-3.
Second.
Any final discussion?
I got one more question. Is that, I know that there's generally a fee that goes along with requesting an appeal. Was there any fee collected on this?
So there's a general application fee for the original hearing. The variance hearings are $150. The fees for appeals, the hearing fees are absorbed in that original $150 and not charged extra unless it's outside of the notification area or the affected property owner.
So essentially, they have paid for the appeal process.
Yes, kind of, yes.
Okay, well then, if that's the case, then I would have to.
Well, they're not gonna get charged anything more
Yeah, they don't get charged
for
anything
the
more.
appeal process. It just exists as this is what you paid to come and bring your variance to the panel. You pay that no matter what. If it goes further, you don't pay any more.
Unless it goes to district court.
Yes.
But then they pay that on their own.
And I certainly don't mean to tell you guys this is what you need to do, because that's a very valid point.
No, I mean, that's why we have these committees.
Yeah.
And then if we go through that, we've been down that road before, and
Yep.
we'll see.
And Mr. Mayor, just as a comment, yes, my wife sits on P and Z. No, we haven't discussed this. When I looked at this initially, my concerns were these. almost always, is an advisory committee who comes forth and meets and goes through all these, weeds to sort out what is and what isn't. They come to us, and it isn't like a split decision, it's a universal decision to deny, and then you're backing it up to the road. Hell, you might as well put a for sale sign out there and hope nobody hits it. I think that was one of the reasons we shouldn't gut the planning and zoning unless there is real reason to be of concern, which I don't see here.
That's a good point. Anybody else?
Nope.
Mayor, if I may, just to address the question on the fees. So they pretty much are fully absorbed within the publishing.
Absorbed. Okay.
Absorb.
Exorbitant means too much.
No, they're.
Absorb means they've been pulled in.
Yes, they've been pulled in and expended to the full capacity for the first hearing with the planning commission. So any other materials that are sent out for the notification requirements and stuff are not charged to the applicant for the council.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Counselor Jackson.
By voting,
to
just by
deny.
clarification, by voting aye, I am voting to deny.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Aye.
Counselor Salas.
Aye.
Counselor Letterman.
Aye.
Counselor Hooker.
Aye.
Counselor Eby.
Aye.
Counselor Corey.
Aye.
Okay. All right, thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Now we'll move into closed session. May I get a motion for that?
Mr. Mayor, move that we move into closed session for discussion of limited personnel matters, citing 1015-1H2 NMSA 1978. Further discussion subject to the attorney-client privilege pertaining to threatened or pending litigation in which the Village of Ruidoso is or may become a participant, citing
Mike.
1015-1H7 NMSA 1978. And finally, discussion of the purchase, acquisition, and/or disposal of real property and/or water rights by the Village of Ruidoso regarding a golf course lease agreement and liquor license lease agreement with Spirit Golf Management for the Links Golf Course and the purchase of water rights from Cree Meadows Country Club and Golf Course, LLC, citing 1015-1H8 MSA 1978. Any action taken as a result of the closed session will be brought back into open session, and I so move.
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Counselor Jackson.
Aye.
Counselor Hooker.
Aye.
Counselor Corey.
Aye.
Counselor Eby.
Aye.
Counselor Letterman.
Aye.
Counselor Salas.
Thank you. We're in closed session.
Does everybody know MP Michael?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know if y'all knew he's our commissioner,
Yes.
basically for Ruidoso.